Every day you make hundreds of decisions. Most are automatic. But the big ones, the ones that shape your life, cause stress, doubt, and paralysis. What if you had a reliable system for making clear, confident decisions every single time? Should I take this job or stay where I am? Should I end this relationship or try harder? Should I move to a new city or stay put? The big decisions haunt us. We lie awake at night, going in circles, paralyzed by fear of choosing wrong. But what if indecision is more costly than a wrong decision? What if you could approach every major choice with clarity, confidence, and a methodology that reduces regret? Over the next 45 minutes, you'll learn the Decision Matrix, a complete system for making better choices. You'll discover how to cut through analysis paralysis, align decisions with your core values, and move forward with conviction. This isn't about always being right. It's about always being clear on why you chose what you chose. Let's build your decision-making confidence. Chapter 1. The cost of indecision. Indecision has a hidden price tag. While you're stuck between options, life continues. Opportunities pass. Relationships stagnate. Your mental energy drains into a black hole of what-ifs. The anxiety of unresolved decisions creates background stress that affects everything else. Consider the physics of decision-making. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Indecision keeps you at rest. Even a wrong decision creates motion, and motion creates new information, new opportunities, new possibilities for course correction. The myth of the perfect decision paralyzes people. They wait for 100% certainty, which never arrives. In reality, most decisions are made with 60–70% of the information. The remaining 30–40% comes from taking action and adjusting along the way. Your brain has two decision-making systems. System 1, fast, intuitive, emotional. Good for routine decisions. System 2, slow, analytical, logical. Needed for complex decisions. Most decision paralysis happens when you try to use System 2 for everything, or when Systems 1 and 2 conflict. The Decision Matrix harmonizes these systems, giving intuition and analysis their proper roles. The first step is recognizing that not deciding is itself a decision. It's a decision to stay stuck, to let circumstances choose for you, to remain in discomfort. Once you see indecision as an active choice with consequences, you become empowered to choose more intentionally. Chapter 2. The core values compass. Every good decision aligns with your core values. Every bad decision violates them. Yet most people make decisions based on external factors. What will others think? What's expected? What seems safest? Without a clear values compass, you're navigating in the dark. Discover your core values. Peak experience review. Think of 3–5 times you felt most alive, fulfilled, proud. What values were being expressed? Example: finishing a marathon might express discipline and perseverance. What irritates you? Our strongest irritations often point to values being violated. If you hate when people are late, punctuality or respect might be values. The tombstone test. Imagine your tombstone. What 3–5 words do you want there? Those are likely core values. The non-negotiables. What can you not live without? Not materially, but in terms of how you live. Narrow to 3–5 core values. Most people have 3–5 truly core values. Others are important, but not core. Your core values should be non-negotiable, timeless, not situational, internally referenced, not about others' approval, actionable, can guide behavior. Examples: integrity, growth, freedom, connection, contribution, excellence, peace. Create your values filter. For any decision, ask, which option best aligns with my core values? Not which is easiest, most profitable, or most impressive. Which honors what matters most to you. When decisions align with values, they feel right even when they're hard. When they violate values, they feel wrong even when they look good on paper. Your values compass is your most reliable decision-making tool. Chapter 3. The Decision Matrix Framework. The Decision Matrix is a 4-quadrant framework that brings clarity to complex choices. It works for everything from career moves to relationship decisions to major purchases. The 4 questions. Quadrant 1. Head analysis, logical. What are the factual pros and cons? What does the data say? What are the costs/benefits? What's the timeline? What resources are required? Quadrant 2. Heart intelligence, emotional/intuitive. What's my gut saying? Which option feels expansive versus contracting? When I imagine choosing each option, how does my body feel? What's my deeper wisdom saying beneath the fear? Quadrant 3. Practical realities. What's actually feasible given my current constraints? What's the implementation plan for each option? What could go wrong? Realistic risks, not catastrophic fantasies. What's the first step for each option? Quadrant 4. Future self-alignment. Which option best serves the person I'm becoming? Which choice will I be proud of in 5 years? Which aligns with my long-term vision? What would my wisest future self advise? How to use the matrix. Create the 4 quadrants on paper or digitally. Spend 10-15 minutes brainstorming in each quadrant for each option. Look for patterns. Does one option score well across all quadrants? Notice tensions. Maybe head says A but heart says B. This reveals where you need to dig deeper. The matrix doesn't make the decision for you. It organizes your thinking so you can see clearly. It ensures you consider multiple dimensions instead of getting stuck on just logic or just emotion. Chapter 4. The 70% Rule and the UDA Loop. Perfectionism in decision-making is paralysis. The 70% Rule states, when you have 70% of the information you think you need, make the decision. Why 70%? The first 70% of information gives you diminishing returns. The remaining 30% takes disproportionately more time and energy. Action generates new information that sitting in analysis never will. Most decisions are reversible or correctable. Combine with the UDA loop. UDA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, Act. It's a decision-making framework developed by military strategist John Boyd. Observe. Gather information up to 70%. Orient. Process through your matrix, head, heart, practical, future. Decide. Make your best choice with available information. Act. Implement immediately, then you loop back to observe the results of your action, which gives you new information for your next decision. This creates a rhythm of decide, act, learn, adjust, rather than analysis, paralysis, or regret. It recognizes that decision-making isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing process of navigation. The implementation. For your next decision, set a decision deadline. Prevents endless analysis. Gather information until you reach till the 70% confidence. Run it through your decision matrix. Decide and act. Schedule a review point, 1 week, 1 month, to assess and adjust. This approach builds decision-making momentum. Each decision, even imperfect, makes the next one easier because you trust your process and your ability to course correct. Chapter 5. Overcoming decision biases. Your brain has predictable decision-making biases. Awareness is your first defense. Common biases and antidotes. 1. Confirmation bias. Seeking information that confirms existing beliefs. Antidote. Actively seek disconfirming evidence. Play devil's advocate with yourself. 2. Sunk cost fallacy. Continuing because you've already invested time/money/effort. Antidote. Ask, if I were starting fresh today, would I make this choice? 3. Loss aversion. Fearing loss more than valuing gain. Losses feel 2x more powerful than equivalent gains. Antidote. Reframe as potential gain rather than potential loss. What might I gain by trying this? 4. Status quo bias. Preferring things to stay the same. Antidote. Imagine you've already changed. How do you feel? Relief or regret? 5. Anchoring. being overly influenced by the first piece of information. Antidote: consciously consider options without the anchor. What would you choose if you didn't know X? 6. Analysis paralysis: overanalyzing to avoid making a wrong choice. Antidote: set a timer. Use the 70% rule. Remember that not deciding has costs. 7. Emotional contagion: being swayed by others' emotions. Antidote: separate others' reactions from the decision itself. Is this their fear or mine? The bias check: before finalizing any significant decision, review this list. Which biases might be influencing you? Create a pre-mortem. If this decision goes wrong, which biases might have contributed? Biases aren't flaws, they're mental shortcuts that sometimes lead us astray. By knowing your tendencies, you can correct for them. Chapter 6. The small decisions practice: decision-making is a muscle. You strengthen it with consistent practice on small decisions so it's strong when big ones come. Daily decision practice. 1. The micro-decision ritual. Each morning, make 3 small intentional decisions. What will I focus on today? Choose 1-3 priorities. How will I handle interruptions? Plan your response. What's one small risk I'll take today? Build decision courage. 2. The restaurant rule. When dining out, give yourself 60 seconds to decide your order. No endless menu deliberation. This trains quick decision-making with low stakes. 3. The information diet. Practice deciding what information to consume. When to stop researching. When a decision has enough input. 4. The most second-guessing rule. For small decisions: what to wear, what to eat, which route to take, decide and don't look back. No regretting or wondering about alternatives. 5. The decision journal. Keep a simple log of decisions and outcomes. Not to judge yourself, but to notice patterns. Do you regret bold decisions or safe ones more? Do you tend to decide too fast or too slow? These practices build what psychologists call decision fitness. Just as you wouldn't run a marathon without training, you shouldn't face major life decisions without having exercised your decision muscle regularly. Chapter 7. The consult vs decide balance. Some people decide 2 alone. Others decide 2 by committee. Finding the balance is crucial. When to consult. When you lack expertise in a critical area, when the decision significantly affects others who have legitimate stake, or you're too emotionally involved to think clearly, when you've hit a genuine information gap, how to consult effectively. Decide whom to ask. 2-3 trusted people with different perspectives ask specific questions. Not, what should I do? But, what am I missing about option A? Or what experience have you had with similar decisions? Listen without immediately agreeing or defending. Thank them, then decide alone. The decision remains yours when to decide solo. When it's a personal values decision, when you have sufficient information and expertise, when consultation has become procrastination, when it's a reversible decision with low stakes, the 24-hour rule. After receiving advice, sit with it for 24 hours before deciding. This allows emotional reactions to settle and integration to occur. Remember, consulting is gathering input. Deciding is your responsibility. You're the CEO of your life. Gather data from your advisors, then make the executive decision. Chapter 8. The implementation bridge. A decision without implementation is just a wish. The gap between deciding and doing is where many good intentions die. The implementation protocol. 1. The first step must be tiny. Break implementation into the smallest possible first action. Not, start business, but research business name availability for 15 minutes. Tiny steps reduce resistance. 2. Schedule it. Decisions become real when they hit your calendar. Block time for implementation steps. Treat these appointments as seriously as meetings with others. 3. Create accountability. Tell one person about your decision and your first step deadline. Or use a commitment contract. If I don't do X by Friday, I'll donate $50 to a cause I dislike. 4. Anticipate friction. What will make implementation hard? What obstacles might arise? Plan workarounds in advance. 5. The 5-minute rule. If resistance hits, commit to just 5 minutes of action. Usually, momentum carries you forward. 6. Celebrate implementation milestones. Acknowledge completing steps, not just final outcomes. This builds positive reinforcement. The decision implementation loop. Implementation generates new information that feeds back into your decision process. Maybe you discover your decision needs adjustment. That's not failure, that's intelligent navigation. The decision isn't finished when you choose, it's finished when you've implemented and gotten results. Chapter 9. The Post-Decision Peace Protocol. Second-guessing kills peace. Buyer's remorse steals joy. After a decision, you need protocols to make peace with it and move forward. The no looking back rule. For reversible decisions, give yourself a no second-guessing period. 24 hours, 1 week depending on the decision. During this time, commit to your choice fully. No checking alternatives. No what-ifs. The best decision at the time framework. Understand that all decisions are made with the information, resources, and emotional state available at that time. You're not deciding with future use perfect knowledge. You're deciding with present use best available resources. The grieving for alternatives. With significant either/or decisions, you're always choosing one path and not others. Allow yourself to grieve the paths not taken. This isn't regret, it's acknowledgement that choosing means closing some doors. The course correction mindset. Instead of did I make the right decision, ask, how can I make this decision right? How can you maximize the benefits of your chosen path? How can you minimize the drawbacks? The decision review, not second guess. Schedule a formal review point, 1 month, 3 months, 1 year. Assess, what's working? What's not? What have I learned? Do I need to adjust? This turns reflection into useful data rather than anxious rumination. The implementation focus. Shift your attention from, was this the right choice? To how can I implement this choice excellently? Your energy follows your attention. Focus on making your decision successful rather than doubting it. Peace comes from trusting your process, not from guaranteeing perfect outcomes. You followed your values, used your matrix, considered carefully, and decided. That's worthy of peace regardless of outcome. Chapter 10. The decisive life decision mastery transforms more than your choices. It transforms your life. Decisive people experience less anxiety, more agency, faster progress, and greater self-trust. The signs of a decisive life. 1. Reduce decision fatigue. You have systems for routine decisions, preserving mental energy for important ones. 2. Comfort with course correction. You don't see decisions as permanent verdicts, but as navigation points. You adjust as you learn. 3. Alignment between values and actions. Your decisions consistently reflect what matters most to you. 4. Faster recovery from wrong decisions. You learn, adjust, and move on rather than ruminating. 5. Increased opportunities. Action creates motion, and motion attracts opportunities that stillness never sees. 6. Stronger relationships. People trust those who can decide clearly and commit fully. 7. Personal authority. You trust yourself because you've seen yourself make hard choices and handle the consequences. Your decision-making legacy. Consider the decisions you make not just for their immediate outcomes, but for the person they're shaping you into. Each decision is practice for the next. Each courageous choice builds courage for future choices. Each values-aligned decision strengthens your integrity. The goal isn't to never make a wrong decision. The goal is to make every decision consciously, with your best available tools, and to learn from whatever follows. To move through life with intention rather than default. To be the author of your story rather than a character reacting to plot twists. You now have the decision matrix, a complete system for making better choices. From aligning with your core values to using the 4-quadrant framework, from overcoming biases to implementing decisively, from consulting wisely to finding post-decision peace. Remember, perfection in decision-making is an illusion. Clarity is the goal. Confidence comes from trusting your process, not predicting perfect outcomes. Start with small decisions today. Practice your matrix. Build your decision muscle. When the next big decision comes, and it will, you won't face it with dread. You'll approach it with your tools ready, your values clear, and your confidence steady. You'll decide, you'll act, you'll learn, you'll adjust.
This is how a life of agency is built, one clear decision at a time. Your decisive life begins with your very next choice. Choose to begin.